Anomaly on sensors. Probes launched. Tracking a huge mineral deposit. Anomaly detected. Probes launched. Tracking a huge mineral deposit. I'm picking up something. Probes launched. Getting a scan. With all this travel, we're building up a bigger picture of the Scourge. I wonder if it's just local to Helios, or if all Andromeda's like this. Anomaly on sensors. Probes launched. I found something. Anomaly on sensors. Probes launched. Satellite detected.
Wasn't Gavorkum some Krogan hero?
Hero? More like a lucky idiot.
Maybe they named the system after him because of the nebula. That bit there looks like a Krogan.
I don't know. I see it.
Now orbiting Kadara. Tracking a remnant architect.
These crates won't move themselves, people.
Take it this beauty is yours?
The Tempest? Yeah, she's mine.
Hell of a ship. We don't get many like her. Colt Dalton, Kadara Docks Manager. Got strict orders from the Charlatan to take good care of you.
Awfully nice of them.
You'd know better than me.
How safe is it here?
Safety's a commodity on Kadara. It depends on how much you're willing to spend. The port's gun-free, but murder comes in all shapes and sizes. Still, better than living outside the mountain. It's no man's land out there.
Does Kadara get a lot of traffic?
Since we moved in? Oh yeah. Kadara is one of the few planets in Helios with a functioning economy. Got Angara and exiles from all over Helios moving their cargo through this port.
I was told you can help me find an Angara named Lieta.
No can do.
Why not?
I was generously compensated to keep my mouth shut. I'm a man of my word. I'm sure you understand.
Why would she pay you to cover her trail?
Not my job to ask questions. She wouldn't have told me anyway. We weren't exactly friends, but she treated me like a stranger the day she left. I shouldn't be telling you this. Pretend I didn't say anything.
Either you help me, or the charlatan makes your life a lot more difficult.
You're bluffing.
You willing to test that?
Nope. I can't tell you where she went. I can't stop you from taking a peek at my doc records either. Especially if you knew the passcode is 1837.
Got it. Thanks.
I don't know what you mean.
Thanks for your time.
Back to work. Can't find good help to save.
Jal, the records say Lieta went to Aya for recovery. She was injured.
It must have been bad if she was sent to Aya.
What happened on Eladin?
There's a resistance med center on Aya. That's where we'll find answers.
All systems green.
Now orbiting Kadara.
Entering atmosphere. LZ in sight.
Kieran says Aval would have lasted another cycle. 2 at most.
Were the projections so dire?
I could believe it. We came so close to losing everything.
Cluster analysis alone can't tell us anything useful. Our sample set is much too narrow. Pathfinder Ryder, Dr. Tsana Relar, xenobotanist for the Initiative, and my colleague, Dr. Eric Baumgarten.
Xenogenetics. Pleasure to meet you.
No offense, but you probably shouldn't be out here alone.
I'm not alone. I'm with her. She's quite fierce.
Your report of accelerated evolution and rapid growth of nature here caught our interest.
We're analyzing everything we can for clues to replicate the effects on our own crops.
It would have interesting applications if there's a way to control the process.
You understand the end goal.
If we learn to enhance the growth of plants and animals in non-destructive ways, we could end hunger. It would change everything for the Initiative. Our colonies could thrive virtually overnight.
Since you repaired the vault, things are returning to normal, but too quickly for us.
The accelerated life forms you want to study are dying off, decaying.
We're scrambling to scan and catalog everything before it's gone. We could use some help.
Point me at the life forms you need. I'll do the rest.
Anything mutated beyond its baseline growth cycle will aid our work.
I'll provide the most promising genetic markers to scan for.
Thank you for whatever help you can provide, Pathfinder. Rendezvous here when you're finished.
Pathfinder Ryder, but I am in danger. A plant tore through my personal shuttle. Oh, what do you want this time?
I won't bother you further.
Very well. Watch out for plants while you're out there. Vicious things.
I've compared my cuttings to Kieran Dahl's. No mutations, no fungus.
You'll be the Pathfinder then. Dr. McIntyre from the Nexus.
As a delicacy.
Ryder, welcome to Havarl.
Spewed out by a malfunctioning
She'll be
vault.
more welcoming now that you put the vault back on track. The Angara invited us to monitor plant growth and study ruins out in the jungle. It's the chance of a lifetime.
You know how Tavos found the monolith, right? Reincarnated memories?
Aye, I heard. One for the textbooks.
You believe him? But you're a scientist.
Asari share thoughts and memories. Prothean tech speaks in visions. Those are scientific facts. There's more to people than what can go under a microscope, lass.
What does your team do here?
Zera is our botanist. She'll be minding the plants and designing an artificial habitat for them. She also happens to be an engineer. Asari, one profession's never enough. Then there's young Farley. Easier for the insects.
And you?
I'm the xenoanthropologist. A fancy word for talking to the Angara about those ruins. And listening.
Be careful around those monoliths. There might be more stasis fields. We think they only affect Angara, but who knows?
Oh, we know. Make no mistake. I have a check-in system ready. Whether young Farley remembers it when he's chasing butterflies is another matter.
I imagine you've spoken to Kieran Dawes already.
She's the one who invited us, aye. Fussed over us something terrible. But she's a fine lady, and hopefully a good colleague down the road. I plan to listen to her.
Good luck, McIntyre.
Safe journeys, Ryder.
The reports didn't do this world justice. It's ethereal.
Director Addison, I imagine you have concerns that we haven't placed a full outpost?
Frankly, it's impressive you weren't covered in vines on landing. Given the planet's significance to the Angara, it's appropriate that we assist, but not place an outpost. And the stability you brought? I received a thank you from Aya. That may be the first time I've heard those words in Andromeda.
It's not just about being a good neighbor. Their stability helps us in the long term.
Practical and true. Ledgers don't understand that nuance, but I do. This is the last one, Pathfinder. The last golden failure we thought we'd lost. You did it. It's promising. And a lot of people have noticed. I still need your voice. Something they can think about instead of an outpost flag.
We're still here, still doing important work.
Then tell them that.
We came here as pioneers, but we're not the only ones in Helios. And that means even better discoveries. On Havarl, we can work together. First contact doesn't end, and it isn't someone else's job. It's here.
Into the books, Pathfinder. Addison out.
The initiative researchers might benefit from scans of the mutated wildlife nearby. Pathfinder, the life forms in this area display accelerated growth markers.
Let's do this!
The malfunctioning vault affected this area. I recommend scanning for accelerated growth.
These Angara carried more than weapons. They had research tech, data pads. Let's find out why. The Rokar were studying mutant wildlife too. They want to use it against us. The datapad mentions a camp.
Updating known data. Mission parameters changing.
Just try to stop me. Between the eyes. We got company.
This is coming back to the Tempest.
Giving shield assist.
Keep it up. Took one out.
Sam, what do you get from this?
Analyzing. The Rokar took special interest in mutations that would poison a natural environment.
Could they really make Eos unlivable?
What are your instructions for this data, Pathfinder?
Download a copy, then erase the Rokar computer.
Acknowledged. Copying complete. Erasure of Rokar files complete.
Let's wrap things up and get back to our researchers. Shield boost enabled. Interesting. Interesting. Nice work.
Thank you, Ryder.
Paula said you were ill?
Yes. An incurable condition that occurs frequently in Mithrava's population. We lose the ability to effectively absorb sunlight. The Angara rely on sunlight for bioenergy. Without it, we weaken. Eventually, my body will be unable to sustain brain function. I'll fall into a coma and die.
Tell me more about your sister, Amara.
We were born here, but she grew up and disagreed with Mithrava's principles. Argued against our seclusion. When she could not sway the others, she left, choosing to join Angara society. It's been over 30 years now. There were others in our litter, but it was different with Amara and I. We were Vastanari, a shared soul.
I have a twin. It's not exactly the same thing, but I think I know what you mean.
Family, but closer than most. Perhaps you understand a little.
I'll leave you now.
Davos has come to us. Did you know that, Pathfinder? He has surrendered to a period of peace and solitude to organize his thoughts.
What's next for him?
That depends on him. Haval owes you a debt, Pathfinder. But your presence upsets many of the people in my charge. I hope you will respect our wishes and limit your visits here.
You spoke before about reconsidering your seclusion.
Perhaps we will learn to communicate with the outside world again. But it will take time. We cannot overturn generations of tradition in one night. Now, if there's nothing else...
I'll go. Thank you for speaking to me.
Of course.
Trust any of this remnant stuff. Don't trust their giant
Something sniffing around.
It's possible we could discover something new from what you found. We should take it for further analysis. Good find, Pathfinder.
What have you brought us, Pathfinder?
I got jumped by Rokar. They were researching harmful mutations, hoping to use them against us.
I hope you put an end to their work.
Do you have any of their data? May we see it?
I copied the files before I erased the Rokar computer. I'll transmit everything.
If nothing else, it may help us defend against future attacks.
I scanned all the mutated wildlife I could find. I hope it helps your research.
We're going to be overwhelmingly busy, aren't we?
Thank you for everything, Pathfinder. We'll get to work.
Oh, welcome. New supplies, fresh from the Nexus, and a few from my secret partners. Plan to build the first Angara Nexus trading company. Lone Star Enterprises. Gotta remember where I started, you know. Hey, you want to be an early investor?
You've got real ambition, I'll give you that.
Buy something and I'm one step closer. Check it out.
It's possible we could discover something new from what you found. We should take it for further analysis.
Leaving Avaril. Bridge is yours, Pathfinder. Hello?
Honor to meet you, Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
Your survival supplies only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city. I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested quinoa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Kadara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Pathfinder, more of your outposts need help, if you have time. Vol's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
Pathfinder? Can you imagine venturing into space only to find more of your own people?
Any news? Do the numbers I didn't mean to say day.
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder. Still no word from our search vessel. How goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers, Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
We caught up to them. They attacked without warning. Might have been Rokar. We fought them off and recovered what was left of the satellites.
I'm so sorry, Pathfinder. And ashamed. This is not who we are. Please accept my apologies. I hope you can look past this.
It's not your fault. Kadara's full of bad people.
They chose to stand alone. They'll suffer the consequences. I'll file a report with our leaders. Perhaps it's time the Resistance got involved. We'll rebuild the satellites and return them to space. I'll keep you updated with our latest charts.
Thank you, Mariko.
No, Pathfinder. Thank you.
Pathfinder, I studied the Angaran astronomer's data transfer. His files begin before the satellites. The initiative will benefit tremendously from this.
And all I had to do was lie to him. Thanks, Sam.
The science messing you back. You're right. Look around.
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
Ambassador. I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya.
The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I assume you're trained for first contact diplomacy.
I'm a social anthropologist with a linguistics background. Close enough for Director Tan. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
I'm not going to like this, am I?
No more than I do. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
The ambassador's messages are overflowing again.
When I first escorted you through our city, I wasn't sure it was the right thing, but you proved I was wrong to doubt. No, more than that, you didn't have to save the captives from exaltation. I wonder if you realize what that meant to us.
None of us will be safe until we stop the Ket for good.
I've learned to enjoy small victories when they come. What can I do for you?
Why didn't you tell me about Kadara Port when I first arrived?
I assumed you already knew. We didn't realize there was a difference between your exiles and the Initiative.
Fair enough.
As for Venturev, Evra hid his betrayal from everyone. He'll answer for that.
I'm hoping you can help me get on Efra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all, and other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the Ket alone, and neither can your initiative.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
Ryder, they've got amazing RemTech research going on here. I love seeing our Milky Way peeps mingling with the Angara. It's early in our interspecies relationship, but I hope we can build on the momentum.
Any one of a million things could happen, and whoops, the neighbors hate us.
So, don't go joyriding with the Nomad, huh? Obey the street signs? You're doing a great job, really. Keep up the good work.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating, and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
Hello, Pathfinder. Pavawa, I'm glad they finally let you into the city. You deserve it. This is Aya's Cultural Museum and History Archive. It's small, but you've already made it brighter.
Any insight you can give me on the remnant tech?
We don't know much. To our understanding, it's always been here. Stars. I would love to be the one to solve that mystery.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge? What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around for that. When the Scourge appeared, it targeted remnant ships, broke down their technology. With the drive cores disabled...
The ships crashed.
But that may not be all. The Scourge leaves a mark on whatever it touches. If it touched this helmet, perhaps the pilot was the target. There may be remnant tech inside the helmet.
Or in the pilot.
Storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
Is it normal for someone as young as you to be in charge?
I'm no younger than you. And you're a Pathfinder.
I kinda inherited the job.
So did I. I was apprenticed to the former curator. It was my job to bring him artifacts from other worlds. When he retired, I sort of fell into his position.
Do you miss relic hunting?
Some days, but mostly I'm happy to spend more time with each piece.
Have you always been into history?
Oh yes. When I was young, I would dig up shells and pretend they were ancient armor pieces. I've always had a big imagination. With only 14 siblings, I got lonely sometimes.
14? That's insane.
Why? How many do you have?
Just the one.
Oh, that's terrible. I'm sorry.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels. Hello, Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan. A musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing is beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
I can't imagine losing everything that way.
You left your culture behind. This isn't much different. In any case, relics like this help us.
I picked this up. Any idea what it might be?
How in the skies did you find an Angaran star map? One that still works, even. It must be pre-Scourge. If we analyze it, we can learn where our people traveled before the Dark Age.
Do you know much about where your ancestors traveled?
No, not at all. The Scourge wiped out nearly everything. We're only just beginning to travel again.
Could they have made it to another galaxy? Like us?
It's possible. For all we know, there are entire Angaran worlds beyond our reach. You've given me more to study than I ever expected. I've got a lot of work ahead. Thank you for your help, Pathfinder. I'll let you know if I discover anything.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ease off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
That's a weird thing to say. How'd he threaten you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was the big gun he was carrying? He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters, see if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
Welcome back.
I'd like a drink. That's all for now.
We'll come back anytime.
Can you believe this place? Here's your golden world.
Unfortunately, already occupied.
Well, yeah, but it's here. Shows it's possible. That's something. There's just so much to see.
Sam, what's this?
The decontamination console for visitors to the Med Center. Touch the start pad to use it. I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
That's our man.
Good to see you.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
You wrongly accused him of getting someone killed. Threatened him for no good reason.
Threat? That's not what happened.
What did?
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well. Until now.
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador, see if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
Pathfinder, Ephra cleared you to purchase weapons over my objections.
Hey, selling an alien weapons would make me nervous too.
I don't do this for Ephra. I respect the Moshai.
No entering the med center until you're clean.
How do I decontaminate?
Ion console. Touch the start pad, it does the rest.
My people on Kadara are fighting a bacterial infection. Do you have antibiotics?
Of course. Will this do? You're not supposed to be here.
Lieta, you're tough to track down.
How do you know my name? What do you want?
Rorik was worried about you. He sent me to give you this cryo bracelet.
I don't want it. Take it away. I want nothing to do with Rorik. With any of you.
I'm guessing that's because of what happened on Eladin.
You know what happened?
Not everything, but I have an idea.
I was dumped by scavengers. Outsiders who left me for dead. I thought I could come to Aya and feel safe with my people. Forget what happened. And now you're here. Seems like no matter where I go, I can't escape outsiders. All of you need to just go away and leave me alone.
You were jumped by scavengers?
On Eladin. They said they had salvage to sell. I was stupid enough to follow them. Once we were alone, they attacked. Left me for dead. Took my ship and flew off-world.
How did you get back?
I walked. 3 hours on the dunes, with a few broken ribs. Rode back to Kadara with another salvager.
I thought Aya wouldn't take anyone from Kadara.
They don't. I told them what happened and they welcomed me. Ephra took me in. He says I'm a fighter. Resistance material. I spent so long wanting more than what Angara worlds could give me. I was wrong.
You can't lose faith. Some of those outsiders care about you.
Like who?
Rorik, for one. He sent me to find you, didn't he?
You went to a lot of trouble for someone you didn't know. Why?
You ran into the worst of us, but you can't judge us all by their actions.
That sounds like something Rorik might say. Can I see that bracelet again? He actually made it.
He said you can use it to visit him again.
It'll take me some time, but I think I can do that. I know Rorik. He'd blame himself if he knew what happened. It would be better if he didn't know the truth. It's your choice, but think about it.
Ephra should have come to me.
Axel, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's she doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Axel, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. She risked her life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I don't condone what happened on Kadara. But one bad experience doesn't define an entire species.
Your kind has a history of treating each other unfairly. Just ask the Krogan.
How did you?
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Axel... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
Whoever Axel was, he's dangerous now.
Pathfinder, Please help him.
I don't think he'll let me.
I can't let him go. Not yet.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
Exaltation is just another word for how the Kett kill us.
And if you're wrong? If we've been killing for them without realizing it?
I saw a Kett up close when they attacked. It was nothing like our people.
The Kett weaponize their victims to make you hesitate.
And when the Kett begin to exalt your people, what will you do then?
Thank you for that. Insight, Pathfinder. The issue facing us is complex. Come, my friends. Deliberate with me.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love. You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
Hey, Lexi. I tracked down some...
Welcome back. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya.
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
You're the ambassador. You'll think of something.
No one said this job would be easy. I appreciate all you've done, Pathfinder. I'll take it from here.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
You work on the solar panels. Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. I want need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
If you put in a request, someone will get back to you.
And if they refuse? I'll have to think about it. Thank you, Pathfinder.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them.
Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara. Will the settlers be okay?
Once they have these, they'll be fine. I'll make sure they know who to thank.
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Hello?
You have AVP outstanding, Pathfinder. Pathfinder, you have pending vid calls.
Suvi, play the full distress call from Prodromos.
Right away.
This is the Initiative Outpost Padromos on Eos. We're in need of assistance. Tempest, this one is for you. We've got hostiles inbound. No ground activity, but there soon will be. Pathfinder, we need you. Going dark until it's resolved. We're not giving up Eos again. Out.
Could use more information than just hostiles and the worry of escalation.
Could be he's worried it's not a simple attack. If someone's willing to risk attacking Prodromos, your first outpost...
They're trying to make a point. That's the last we heard? Nothing else?
No rider, but also no alarms. The orbital buoy isn't showing any major traffic. Bradley's military, all about the prep. I bet it's a brownout to present less of a target.
Keep the nav fresh. I'll be on the bridge soon.
Understood.
Ryder, I was just about to call you.
Everything all right?
I've got numbers, coordinates, flashing in my head. I think it's an SOS from Mason.
That's quite the leap.
Just hear me out. What if Mason's using my SAM implant to send me his location?
We did find evidence that Natanis may be intact.
What evidence?
A bunch of stasis pods were jettisoned from the Ark. No survivors. But the logs show it happened long after Natanis hit the Scourge.
Someone's still flying the damn thing.
Scourge or not, colonists were ejected from the Ark.
There must be an explanation. Here are the coordinates for my implant. Meet me there. We'll find answers.
Ready to fly, Path. What the?
Find something?
Something pinged us. An ID request. The Tempest auto-responded.
We'll keep an eye out in the sector.